Welcome to Adulting with Joyce Pring. Watch the full video of this episode on my channel, www.youtube.com/JoycePringTV. And if you want to level up your adulting game, check out joycepring.com/collections for my digital products and courses. From my community, but I know we're running out of time. I'll send you over 3 questions because it's all about beauty. Okay, this
Okay, let's
one,
go.
I can relate to this. It's from At Years Worthwhile. What skincare would you recommend for pregnant women? Doc, I'm all ears.
Okay,
Please help.
you're all ears. So for pregnant women, there are many things you cannot use. So I'll just tell you na lang what you can use. So basically, you need a cleanser. I think it's very important to use an exfoliant because as we get older, our skin doesn't turn over as quickly as when we were young. So that causes a lot of clogged pores, etc. Which, of course, sometimes they say if it's a boy, you break out more. Although with me, I broke up with both my girl and my boy. But since a boy is supposed to have more testosterone, you do get more acne. So the only thing you're allowed to do to control that is to use some sort of alpha hydroxy acid because those are all natural. The most popular one is glycolic, which is made from sugar cane. So that's fine. You are not allowed to use the one cream. I tell everybody if you can use only one cream, use retinol. You can't use that because vitamin A can still seep into your system and can affect the brain of your baby, so you can't. So the only things you can really use are that and then vitamin C or antioxidant creams, which you can put because vitamin C is a strong antioxidant. And it's also when you have a lot of hormones, especially estrogen, you tend to get melasma or hyperpigmentation on your face. And so the vitamin C will help with that. So it's going to be very simple. If you should go to the clinic or any clinic, just have glycolic application and cleaning. Don't do any of the more sophisticated facials because we need to keep it simple for the baby. So I think that's all. So vitamin C and alpha hydroxy acid.
Awesome. Thank you, Doc. Okay, another question here from Mary Jane Dokila who asks, can we really defy skin aging? And if so, what products would you suggest or formulas? It's a
Can we really
possibility.
defy? We can, but not 100%. So I think instead, if you would let nature take its course, um, like I'm 66 and I know that at 66, I don't look 66. So I have delayed it, but I don't look 30 and I don't look 35. I think I look more in my late 40s. So it's more like delaying the aging, but still the aging keeps marching on. The other procedures can bring you back. For example, if you do things like Thermage or Virtue RF, they can bring you back about 5 to 10 years, but then it still goes forward, diba?
Mhm.
As I said earlier, for me, skincare can be very simple. That's what I do. I have a cleanse. I have something that will prepare my skin for the creams that are going to follow. It's so important to prepare your skin. I never believed it. I thought it was commercialism. I only actually started preparing my skin with, for example, a toner that has alpha hydroxy acids or salicylic acid to remove all the dead skin so that when I apply stuff that's good for my face, it actually goes in. I don't know, have you ever had that experience, Joyce, na you put creams on your face, the next morning when you wash it off, parang it's still there. It just came off. It was just on
Yeah.
the surface.
Yep.
That's because you don't prepare your skin. Yeah, if you prepare your
Mm.
skin and you have to take your time about applying, you have to massage and push it in because we do have a skin barrier, which is good to protect us from, harsh pollution, elements we don't want. But when you want to push things in, dapat matyaga ka, you have to disrupt that barrier just a little and push a skin product in so you don't stop applying the cream until you feel it's not on your surface anymore so it can do its work. Because if you don't do that, if you just go like this, like that, and 1 minute ka lang ganon, it will just sit on your skin and it won't do the work. And then you'll say, these creams don't work. But actually, it never got the chance to work. So that's the thing. So you need basic cleanser, something that will exfoliate your skin, like alpha hydroxy or beta hydroxy, salicylic or glycolic. In the morning, you need a vitamin C that will protect you from the sun and, of course, your sunscreen. In the evening, you just repeat the steps: a cleanser, exfoliator, and then this time you put retinol. retinol. So there's three kinds of retinoic acid. The mildest is retinol at 1%. And then you have the retinaldehyde, which is closer to retinoic acid. And then retinoic acid at 0.025 or 0.05%. This is the strongest, but I like retinol the most because it's not as irritating. I like the Zeo brand because it's slow infusion throughout the whole night. It doesn't just shock you, so you don't get all that redness, all that peeling. It's much gentler, but you get the good effects of it.
All right, Doc. Well, I am down to my last question, but I feel like we still have a lot more to talk about. So hopefully I'll get you back on the podcast soon. Hopefully face to face and then talk
I
about
know I miss
marriage
you. Ang
life.
tagal na. I haven't seen you in what, 2 years?
3 years. 3 years, Doc, I think.
Yeah, ang tagal.
Super tagal na.
I haven't met your kids nga eh.
Yeah, I know. Well, hope because I always say this to friends. I'm so sorry. We moved to the south and we just stopped seeing all of
It
our
feels like
friends.
another country ba?
It does. It feels like you're in another country because you're just stuck here at home with little babies. But hopefully, we'll get to see each other again soon. Before I let you go, my last question would be for many women like myself who are inspired by your story, inspired by the fact that you were able to build something that you can be proud of in your life. You were able to help a lot of people, and you were able to do all of that while having your family and caring for others. What would be your advice for young women who also want to create and forge a path for themselves that is purposeful and that is beautiful?
I think the secret to be able to create a whatever something big is to really have a lot of passion for what you do and to really go out there with the intent, being intentional in helping people. And because I never feel I work, there's really a blurred line between my work, my family. I mean, even Scarlett's involved in my work. She comes to the clinic with me. She posts for me when I need something, out there. It's just a happy place. Of course, Hayden's also a doctor, so now he's running the business side. But paano you have to have a bigger mission for yourself than just making money. But I think the greatest role in life is still family. I think you have to be very intentional about bringing up your children, especially today with the way the environment is. In my practice now, I meet so many kids, getting acne, but they're really so kawawa in the sense that they may be materially better off, but they're so anxious. They're kind of depressed and they don't even know why. There's just all these, they're always on their gadgets. I would really like to propose that we all go back to going out to nature more, playing board games. I know it's not techy. Just spending time because when you're playing board games, you're making cuento. It's a very nice way of, I really believe that all these gadgets play crazy games with the mind. We've stopped Scarlett from playing Switch now because it was becoming an addiction for her. Like she wouldn't do anything 'cause she's so excited to go play Switch. And we see such a difference in her temperament. She's so much more engaging. She's so many cuentos. She's happier. Kasi parang that all that fast stuff makes you a little impatient. And I don't know if psychologists are coming up with papers that talk about this, but firsthand, comparing with other mothers, we all realize that this world is just too fast for them, including their games are too fast for them. So it's really good to take a breath and slow down. And values have to be instilled. Because with my first two kids, I just kind of winged it and taught them values, how to be a good person. But you have to have values as a family. So like with us, it's his humility, integrity, and service. And so we're always teaching her to be very humble. So those things are so important because at the end, when you're in your deathbed and you look back at your life, you're really not gonna feel how much money you made or how many people admire you or what legacy you have left. Basically, you just have to look back and know that your children are going to be good and they're going to be good, happy people, contribute to society, and that's how we have to keep the world moving forward. So Yeah, always have balance in your life. Really, you'll regret it if you put too much onto one thing and forget the rest. Are you guilty of that, Miss Joyce? I think
No,
you have balance, right?
yeah, doc, because I have great ninangs that give me such advice. So I
No, but
never
I saw you
forget.
took a trip. You took a trip that's taking time off with. Diba, we get so busy, you have to be intentional. You really have to carve time out. It's not going to appear by itself.
Yeah, and I that's actually one of the things that I've learned, one of the many things that I've learned from you guys, Doc H and you. You're very intentional as a couple, not just with
Mm-hmm.
Scarlett, but also with each other. The way that you communicate, the way that you do your travels, you always say that as much as you can, you bring Scarlett along so that you can be with her and actually be intentional in the way that you teach her, the way that you mold her and guide her. And I think, at the end of the day, even if you don't have children, the way that you are intentional in the relationships that you have around you is the most important thing. Because you're right. At the end of this all, we're gonna die at some point. I don't see I don't
Walang
see
lusot yun.
walang lusot, diba? It's a 100 out of 100 chance that it's going to happen. And on your deathbed, you want to be the person that was intentional about their relationships, that was purposeful in their living, and that was humble enough to live with integrity and prioritize service, just like what you said. That's it for this episode of Adulting with Joyce Pring. If you liked this podcast, please don't forget to use the hashtag Adulting with Joyce Pring and also check out www.joycepring.com for the show notes and tag me on social media with at Joyce Pring. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Paalam!